Dell's Slick XPS 13 Developer Edition will be available with Ubuntu OS and 7th generation Core processors on October 10. Rejoice Linux fans, the OS will work on laptops with Intel's Kaby Lake chips. 3 new models of Dell's Slick XPS 13 Developer Edition will be available with Ubuntu OS and 7th generation Core processors in the US and Canada starting on October 10. Prices for XPS 13 will start at $949. Dell also announced the XPS 13 model with Kaby Lake and Windows 10, which will ship on October 4 starting at $799. Dell didn't share details on what version of Ubuntu Desktop OS will be preloaded. It officially supports Ubuntu 14.04 in existing laptops, but could preload version 16.04 on the new XPS 13. Dell has remained committed to Linux while major PC vendors shift to Windows 10 on PCs. Intel made a major commitment to supporting Windows 10 with its new Kaby Lake chips but hasn't talked much about Linux support. XPS 13 is perhaps the sexiest and thinnest Linux laptop available, with an edge-to-edge screen being a standout feature. It is the latest in Dell's Project Sputnik line of laptops, and it is targeted at computer enthusiasts who want a Windows or Mac alternative. A knock against Linux is that the OS has lagged behind Windows on driver development and on supporting the latest technologies like USB-C ports, 4K screens, and Thunderbolt. Project Sputnik started 4 years ago as an effort between Dell and the open source community to bridge that gap, and since then, the resulting laptops have achieved cult status among Linux enthusiasts. A Dell XPS 13 with a Core i5 chip will have a full HD screen, 8 GB of RAM, and a 128 GB SSD. Another configuration will have a 3200 by 1800 pixel screen, Core i5, and a 256 GB SSD. A fully loaded model will have a Core i7 chip, a 512 GB SSD, 16 GB of RAM, and a 3200 by 1800 pixel screen. Full specifications will be released closer to the shipment date. The XPS 13 weighs up to 1.3 kilograms with a touchscreen. The XPS 13 Developer Edition with Kaby Lake is being released relatively quickly, considering its predecessor with Skylake chips came out just a few months back. Project Sputnik laptops usually ship much later than the Windows counterparts because it takes time for Dell to develop the Linux drivers. Dell earlier ran into problems developing Linux drivers for Thunderbolt 3 and USB-C docks, which delayed the Skylake-based XPS 13. There are also criticisms of the XPS 13. Linux enthusiasts, especially those who don't like Ubuntu, want to see more of the laptops with more Linux flavors like Mint. That may happen in the future, but for now, Dell is working with Ubuntu developer Canonical on driver development for the laptop.